Okay, hey Lauren and Louie, let's have a look at your bow work for your first lesson. Okay, so first of all, really good placement of where your hand is. Louie's holding himself really nicely through the body, which is good to see. With those long legs, you'd kind of hope that he would. The first piece of feedback that I have for you is, see how here you're having trouble positioning his body? He keeps flicking his butt out and stuff to the side. If you just moved about a metre forwards and used that barrier of the deck, then Louis wouldn't have been able to actually flick his bum out, and he would have been nice and straight beside the deck. So remember to use the environment around you to help make it easier for Louis. Okay, next piece of feedback for you. What I noticed through your entire video, if we play here.
Yes, good boy.
I think that when you marked right there, when you marked that yes, I don't think that his elbows were actually properly on the ground. And we can see this as you go through the video. I think the one problem with Louis' bow, and it's looking awesome, is that his elbows aren't hitting the ground throughout. It's pretty consistent. Almost every bow, I don't think technically his elbows are hitting the ground.
Yes, bow.
That one wasn't quite so bad, but generally, if we keep going through again,
Yes, good boy.
I think a lot of them are not hitting the ground
Okay,
properly.
good boy.
So let's look at that one again.
Louis now. Okay, good.
So that one, he wasn't hitting the ground properly, so you marked incorrectly. And also, I think you actually covered his butt, and you cheated, and you said okay as he was actually coming up off the ground. So let's have a look at that one again.
Okay, good boy.
So I want you to, number one, is I need you to make sure, be a little bit more consistent with making sure his elbows are actually hitting the ground properly when you mark. If you have trouble doing this, set up a mirror to the side or do it in front of a ranch slider so you can actually see. It's quite hard to see from above when you're looking down whether the elbows are hitting the ground, especially Louis with being all black and quite tall, really hard to see. The next biggest thing that I need you to do to advance your bowing is you're not multiple rewarding before you start to move. And I think this is why he's not holding the bow and he's popping up really quickly. You're covering his butt by releasing him when he's already moving a lot. So what would be more appropriate here if we watch what you do?
Now. Yes, okay.
So that bow was actually better with hitting the elbows on the ground. So there you can see his elbows have hit, which is excellent. He doesn't do that very consistently. But notice how you feed, and then as your hand goes up, he's already coming up off the ground. And I think if we listen to that, technically you haven't actually released him yet. He's just going with your hand motion. I bet if you put your hand down and you pulled your hand back up and you didn't give him his release, he would still come up. I don't think he understands that the behaviour is related to that release. I think he's just following your hand. So what I need you to do at this stage, when you say yes, I want you to go, good boy, good bow, throw a treaty in. What a good boy, good bow, throw a treaty in. Good bow, you're so clever, throw a treaty in, and start to put some movement in, and then make it really clear when you give your release with okay, and then feeding up when he comes up in the air. So biggest things for Louis and you to work on is one, making sure his elbows are hitting the ground, and two, multiple reward and make it very clear when he's allowed to release and still reward the release upwards.